Close your eyes. No, really, for just a second, I want you to close your eyes. Now I want you to imagine the room you are sitting in. You know where the walls are, you know where your chair is. You know that if you reach out your hand, you will touch the solid, cool surface of your phone or your desk. You trust this room. You trust that it is solid. You trust that it is real. Now open your eyes. What if I told you that the image you are seeing right now is a lie? What if I told you that the solidity of the table is just a force field rejecting your hand? What if I told you that the light hitting your eyes isn't a continuous stream, but a rain of tiny bullets that only exist because you are catching them? We are taught that seeing is believing. We are taught that the universe is made of hard, physical stuff: marbles, bricks, planets. But 100 years ago, a few scientists peeled back the wallpaper of the universe. They looked at the subatomic machinery that runs this reality, and they didn't find bricks. They didn't find marbles. They found ghosts. They found a world where things can be in two places at once, a world where time can flow backward, a world where two objects on opposite sides of the galaxy can communicate faster than the speed of light. It sounds like magic, it sounds like science fiction, but it is the most tested, most verified theory in the history of science. The problem is our human brains didn't evolve to understand it. We evolved to run from lions and find berries. We didn't evolve to visualize hyperdimensional probability waves. So people give up. They say quantum mechanics is too hard, it is just math. But today we are going to fix that. We are going to throw away the chalkboard. We are going to throw away the equations. We are going to build a laboratory inside your mind. We are going to visualize the four most mind-bending experiments in history. We are going to walk through them step by step until you can see the quantum world with your own inner eye. By the end of this video, you won't just know about quantum physics. You will feel it. You will feel the shaky, shimmering, terrifying beauty of the simulation we call life. If you are ready to unplug from the matrix and see the code underneath, please hit that subscribe button right now. We are about to break reality, and you are going to want to be here for the aftermath. Let us step into the mind lab. First, we have to dim the lights. Imagine a vast, empty warehouse. It is pitch black, the air is cool, it is silent. In the center of this warehouse, we are going to set up our first experiment, the one that started it all. The double slit experiment. Most people explain this with water, but water is messy. I want you to visualize something more visceral. I want you to imagine a paintball gun. Set up a steel wall in the middle of the room. In this wall, we cut two vertical slits. They are tall and narrow, like doorways for ghosts. Behind the steel wall, we place a white canvas. This is our detector screen. Now you stand in front of the steel wall with your paintball gun. You aim at the slits, and you start firing. Pop, pop, pop. You are shooting red paintballs. Some of them hit the steel wall and splatter. They don't matter. But some of them make it through the left slit. They sail through the air and splat against the back canvas. Some of them make it through the right slit. They sail through and splat against the back canvas. If you do this for an hour, what do you see on the canvas? You see two red stripes, two vertical bands of paint. One band directly behind the left slit and one band directly behind the right slit. This is how the world works. This is how particles behave. They travel in straight lines. They hit things. They stop. It is logical. It is comforting. Now let us change the ammunition. We are going to shrink you down. We are going to shrink the gun down. We are going to shrink the wall down. Instead of paintballs, we are now firing electrons. Electrons are the tiny bits of matter that orbit the nucleus of an atom. They are the building blocks of the chair you are sitting on. They are supposed to be stuff. So we fire the electrons at the two slits. We expect to see two bands on the back screen. But that is not what happens. As you fire the electrons, something impossible begins to appear on the back screen. It isn't two bands. It is a series of many bands. Stripe, 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 stripe. The brightest stripe is right in the middle, where there is no slit. How can this be? This is called an interference pattern. To understand it, visualize a pool of water. If you drop two rocks into the pool at the same time, they create ripples. When the ripples from the left rock meet the ripples from the right rock, they interact. Where two crests meet, the wave gets twice as big. Where a crest meets a trough, they cancel each other out and the water goes flat. This implies that the electron is not a paintball, it is a wave. It goes through the left slit and the right slit at the same time. It splits in two, ripples out, interferes with itself, and then crashes into the back screen. This is mind-blowing enough, matter acting like liquid energy. But here is where the horror story begins. The scientists, just like you, were confused. They said, okay, it is a wave, but let's check. Let's look to see which slit it actually goes through. So in our mind lab, we install a sensor, a tiny high-tech camera right next to the slits. This camera will beep if the electron goes through the left and buzz if it goes through the right. We are going to spy on reality. We turn on the camera, the red light blinks, we are watching. We fire the electron gun again. Pop, pop, pop. The camera works perfectly. Beep, left slit, buzz, right slit, beep, left slit. We are tracking them. We know exactly where they are going. The mystery is solved. They are particles. But then we look at the back screen. The pattern has changed. The multiple stripes are gone. The interference pattern has vanished. There are only two stripes. Do you understand what just happened? Because we looked, the electron stopped acting like a wave. Because we watched it, it decided to act like a particle. It went back to being a paintball. How did it know? How did a subatomic particle know that a camera was turned on? This is the observer effect. It suggests that the universe does not exist in a definite state until a conscious mind or a measurement device interacts with it. It suggests that when you are not looking, the world is a fuzzy soup of infinite possibilities. But the moment you turn your head, the universe snaps to attention and pretends to be solid. It is like a video game that only renders the room you are currently standing in. Now let's take this fear and make it bigger. Let's move to the second station in our mind lab. Schrödinger's cat. You have heard of this, but I want you to really visualize the box. Imagine a heavy steel bunker, lead-lined, soundproof, no light can get in, no signal can get out. Inside this bunker, we place a cat. Let's call him Felix. Next to Felix, we place a diabolical machine. It is a Geiger counter, a machine that detects radiation. Next to it, there is a tiny, single atom of a radioactive substance. This atom is unstable. In the next hour, there is a 50-50 chance it will decay and release a particle. There is a 50-50 chance it will do nothing. If it decays, the Geiger counter detects it. It triggers a hammer. The hammer smashes a vial of poison gas. The cat dies. If it doesn't decay, nothing happens. The cat lives. We close the heavy steel door. We lock it. We wait 1 hour. Now I ask you a question. Is Felix alive or dead? Your common sense says, well, he is one or the other, I just don't know which one yet. But quantum mechanics says you are wrong. According to the math, the atom is in a superposition. It has decayed and not decayed at the same time. Because the atom is entangled with the machine, and the machine is entangled with the cat. The cat is also in a superposition. Inside that box, Felix is alive and dead. He is not sick, he is not dying. He is literally existing in two contradictory states of reality simultaneously. The universe has split. It is only when you unlock the door, when you creak open the heavy steel lid, when light floods in and your eyes hit the scene. That is the moment the universe chooses. Snap. The wave function collapses. The two realities merge into one. You find a live cat or a dead cat. But you were the murderer, or you were the savior. Your act of looking forced the universe to decide the cat's fate. Now this sounds like just a philosophy problem, but it leads to the wildest theory in all of science, the many worlds interpretation. Some physicists believe that the wave function never collapses. They believe that when you open the box, you don't force the universe to choose. Instead, you split. In one timeline, you open the box and cry because Felix is dead. In another timeline, completely separate from this one, you open the box and pet Felix because he is alive. Both versions of you are real. Both versions exist right now. And this happens every time a quantum event occurs, trillions of times a second. This means there are infinite versions of you in the mind lab, living out every possible variation of your life. There is a version of you that closed this video 5 minutes ago. There is a version of you that became an astronaut. There is a version of you that never was born. It is all happening all at once in a vast, shimmering multiverse of probability. Feeling dizzy yet? Good, that means you are starting to understand. But we have to go deeper. We have to break the concept of space. Let's move to the third station. Quantum entanglement. Einstein hated this. He called it spooky action at a distance. He thought it was impossible because it broke the speed limit of the universe, the speed of light. But we know it is real. We use it in quantum computers today. Visualize 2 coins. These aren't normal coins, these are quantum coins. We bring them together in our lab, we let them interact, we entangle them. Now they are linked, they share a soul. If one is heads, the other must be tails. They are always opposites. They balance the equation of the universe. Now let's separate them. I keep one coin here in the lab with you. I give the other coin to an astronaut. He gets in a rocket ship. He flies to the other side of the galaxy. He lands on a planet that is 10 billion light years away. So we have one coin here on Earth, one coin on the edge of the universe. The coin here is spinning, it is a blur, it is in a superposition, it is neither heads nor tails, it is both. The coin on the alien planet is also spinning. Now you here on Earth, you slap your hand down on the coin, you stop the spin, you measure it. It is heads. At that exact instant, and I mean the exact instant, not a nanosecond later, the coin on the other side of the universe stops spinning, and it becomes tails. How did the other coin know? If you sent a radio signal, it would take 10 billion years to get there. But the reaction was instantaneous. This implies that space is an illusion. It implies that the 2 coins are not actually 2 separate objects. They are one object stretched across a dimension we cannot see. Imagine a fish tank. Inside is a fish. Now imagine two cameras pointed at the tank. One camera looks at the front of the fish. One camera looks at the side of the fish. You are watching two TV screens. On one screen, you see a fish face. On the other, you see a fish side. When the fish turns, both screens change at the exact same time. You might think the two fish are communicating instantly. But they aren't two fish, it is one fish seen from different angles. Entanglement suggests that everything in the universe might be connected like this. Think about the Big Bang. 14 billion years ago, all the matter in the universe was concentrated into a single, tiny point. You, me, the stars, the dirt, the air, we were all touching, we were all entangled. Then the universe exploded and stretched out. But if entanglement holds true, then we are all still touching. The atoms in your body are entangled with atoms in a star a billion miles away. The atoms in your brain are entangled with the atoms in the person you love. We are not separate islands floating in space. We are one giant, shimmering, interconnected web of energy. Separation is the illusion, unity is the reality. Now take a deep breath, because we are about to enter the final room of the Mind Lab. And this is the one that breaks time. This is the experiment that makes grown scientists weep. The delayed choice quantum eraser. This is a complex experiment, but I am going to simplify it so you can see it. We go back to the double slit experiment, the paintball gun, the two slits. But this time we add a twist. We are going to use entangled particles. We fire a photon, a light particle. Right after it passes through the slits, we use a special crystal to split it into two entangled twins. Twin A goes to the main screen to make the pattern, the stripes. Twin B goes on a detour. It goes into a complex maze of mirrors and detectors. Now here is the trick. The maze is long. It takes time for Twin B to travel through it. Twin A hits the screen first. The pattern is recorded. Twin B is still traveling. It hasn't been detected yet. Now in the maze we have a switch, a quantum eraser. If we leave the switch on, we destroy the information about which slit the particle came from. We erase the memory. If we turn the switch off, we keep the information. We know which slit it used. But remember, Twin A has already hit the screen. The past has happened. The picture is painted. Here is the mind-melting part. If we decide after Twin A has hit the screen to turn the switch off and keep the information, then Twin A will have made a particle pattern, two stripes. But if we decide after Twin A has hit the screen to turn the switch on and erase the information, then Twin A will have made a wave pattern, multiple stripes. Read that again. The choice we make in the asterisk present changes what the particle did in the asterisk past asterisk. Twin A had already landed. It had already chosen to be a wave or a particle. But somehow, it knew what we were going to do to its twin in the future. It knew we were going to erase the information, so it behaved like a wave. Or it knew we were going to keep the information, so it behaved like a particle. This suggests that the future can influence the past. It suggests that time is not a straight arrow. It suggests that everything, past, present, and future, is tangled up in a knot of information. It suggests that the universe is not a physical place, but an information processing system. Think about a video game again. In a game, the computer doesn't decide what happened in the level until you need to know. It saves memory. If you don't look at the log file, the computer doesn't bother generating the specific data of the fight you just had. The delayed choice experiment suggests our reality works the same way. The universe doesn't bother to define the past until the future demands it. So let's step out of the mind lab. Let's turn the lights back on. Open your eyes again. Look at your hand, look at the room. It looks the same, doesn't it? But it isn't. You now know that the solidity is a lie. You know that the particles making up your hand are waves of probability, blinking in and out of existence. You know that you are entangled with the rest of the cosmos. You know that your observation, your consciousness, is the engine that drives reality. You are not just a passenger in the universe, you are the driver. You are the one collapsing the wave function. You are the one deciding if the cat is alive. You are the one weaving the thread of time. Science used to tell us that we were insignificant, that we were just specks of dust in a cold, uncaring machine. Quantum mechanics tells us the opposite. It tells us that without us, without the observer, there is no machine. There is only silence and darkness and possibility. You are the light that makes the world real. It is a heavy burden, but it is also a beautiful one. It means you matter. It means your perspective matters. It means that in a very literal scientific sense, the world is what you make of it. So the next time you feel small, remember the mind lab. Remember the electron that changes its mind when you watch it. Remember the coins that talk across the galaxy. Remember the choice that changes the past. And realize that you are walking through a miracle every single day. If this journey into the quantum realm sparked a light in your mind, if it made the world feel a little more magical and a little less rigid, please hit that like button. It helps the algorithm collapse the wave function and show this video to more observers. And if you want to explore more of the mysteries of existence, from the edge of the black hole to the center of the human brain, hit subscribe. We are going to keep peeling back the wallpaper of reality, one layer at a time. Let me know in the comments which experiment scares you the most. Is it the cat, the spooky action, or the time travel? I'll see you in the next timeline. Stay curious.